Well, welcome to the fragrance nut. As they say, your first time, welcome. Returning, appreciate it. Let's get into this. But before we do, I want to mention that I'm going to be reviewing in a coming days when I get this package. I ordered a Roja uh, and a couple of Clive Christians. Two that I tried 25 years ago, fell in absolute over heels in love with, and that was number one. And I got both versions for at that time, men and women, and we talk unisex now, but I want to see if it's the same, and I may pull the trigger because hey, it's been 25 years since I've had those two, and be the first time to smelling the Roja's Bergdorf. And we all know that would be a reminiscence of Bergdorf Goodman in New York. But anyway, we're going to talk about these other two. And some of my favorite notes are found in these different perfumes that actually grab my attention. That would either be gardenia, iris, because I'm a floral guy, rose for sure, and then jasmine, and I guess I said iris, and a couple of others too. But anyway, Lily of the Valley, and that's where I was really good in Clive Christian's number one. So anyway, let's talk about these two. And this is from, and this is no particular order. Balenciaga Le Dix. And we're going to talk about mascara. I'm wearing mascara on my right, Le Dix on my left, and what they have in common that I'm looking for is the iris. So we're going to talk about mascara. Oh, that's Le Dix. We're going to talk about mascara. Now, these both were released in 2025. However, Le Dix originally came in 1947, and it was EDT. At that time, I don't believe they had it as an eau de parfum. That wasn't a thing. Back then, you had EDTs, and especially overall for men, it was nothing but EDT. And as I mentioned earlier, Clive Christian, they were the only ones that I know of 25 years ago was actually using the word perfume for everyone. And all that simply meant back then when we didn't know, we thought that eau de toilettes was as strong as you would find for men. And then in the female, they went several levels, and that would be, I guess you could say that would be parfum and eau de parfum, and get as pure as it can get. All it really meant was oil concentration, whether it be 5% or going as high as 40%, and then some uncut, 100% pure. So anyway, mascara only had two notes in this, and that is being the iris and then ambrette, and that's a synthetic version of musk. And then in Le Dix, which got a little bit more interesting, it came along, I got my notes here because I want to tell you the things that are here and the things in the 1947 that puts this bad baby to shame. But anyway, in here you would find in the top, you're going to find some iris, and you find some aldehydes, some violet, and a violet leaf. And then in the heart of it, it's got more iris, and then it's got orris. And orris is simply the root, not the petals that are coming from the plant. And then in the base, it's got frankincense and incense. And so that orris will make it, as we all know, will make it powdery. And it's a little, yeah, it's a little sweet, not overly sweet, I didn't like them in the beginning, but you'd really have to allow them to settle for a minute. I'd say a good 30 minutes or more. And then the beauty of them do start coming out, and then your mind could maybe change. But if you smell them right from the start, you're gonna probably throw it in the trash. Don't do it. It is pretty good. I don't know that I'm gonna add it to my collection because there's some better irises out there. But these could be a nice contender. I don't think they're overly priced either, if I remember. If I had to choose, I think, now, Le Dix kind of musky smell, but I'm still leaning toward it. Maybe just if it's from a distance, but this one kind of reminds me of something. But anyway, and then it's kind of, they both kind of have that green kind of smell to it. If you like green scents, this wouldn't be a bad choice. Now, let's talk about that 1947. That's terrible, that puts this, I can imagine, and it's an EDT. I can imagine it put this thing to shame. What's missing? A lot. Rose is missing. Jasmine is missing. Peach is missing. Lemon is missing. Tonka bean is missing. Sandalwood is missing. Too many things are missing. And I would say it would probably be really interesting if you could, in my opinion, I would say I would hunt down that EDT if you liked Le Dix. I would hunt down the EDT vintage version, because at that point in 1947, if you can capture at least anything in the 60s, early 70s, you're probably getting real sandalwood, which is probably Mysore. You're probably getting real musk, deer musk. And so definitely would have more complexity to it, would have more depth to it. Just would probably be a very interesting, alluring scent. I can imagine what that scent would have been. Even though at that time it was geared toward women in 1947. It was not a male version, but hey, today we go with the unisex, and so it's all fair game. And so at that point, jump on that version if you can. The only place I could suggest that maybe you might get places I go to try to find vintage, one would be Enchant, but that's with the E at the end of it. And then I would go to fragrancevault.net. And then there's one called Surrender to Chance. Now, I don't think they sell the other two. You will get full bottle. But Surrender to Chance is just a place that you can go. You can get a pretty decent sized decant. I don't believe they sell full bottles of anything, but they do carry a lot of discontinued, rare, hard to find, and vintage fragrances, just to get an idea. And then get your nose on the 2025 version just to see just how much you may like or don't like. See just how much information, complexity, interesting things that are going on as it happened back in the day versus modern day fragrances. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Hey, thanks for stopping by. Do you know these? Have you tried these? I do believe that they have a couple of other things too, an incense fragrance out there by this brand, by this house, as well as sandalwood and maybe something else I'm not recalling right now. But anyway, leave a comment, like, share, subscribe. But I really wish you guys would leave comments, because I really like to get an opinion. I don't want to just have the only opinion. That's all I got right now is mine. But I'd appreciate yours too. And so, hey, thank you. Have a good day. And always remember, keep smelling good.